A force more powerful than any the world has ever known is about to be unleashed by the two people who should know better.
Oh no, not these guys again!
Next summer, Universal Pictures presents Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, John Hannah, Arnold Vosloo, Odette Fair, Patricia Velasquez, introducing Freddie Both, and The Rock as the Scorpion King. The Mummy returns.
Welcome to a movie film commentary track. My name is Zaki Hassan. I'm here with Brian Hall.
Hey, how's it going, Zaki?
You know, it's going well, and I'm just feeling this urge to jump back into the way back to watch a movie about an adventurer in the 1930s.
Oh?
Not that one.
Oh.
No, we're going to revisit Rick O'Connell and company.
Yeah, I should have been like, oh, Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow?
No, not that one. Oh, The Phantom? No, not that one. Yeah, we can keep going. No, of course, you know, a few years ago, you and I, we talked through 1999's The Mummy.
Yes.
And just like the creature in the title, we promised to return for the sequel. It's the 25th anniversary of The Mummy Returns. The Mummy Returns, which is back in theaters, or at least it was over the last month.
Oh, yeah, right. They're doing that a lot more these days.
I'm glad.
Theater movies. I guess Top Gun is in theaters right now.
Is it? It's not right now?
Yeah, May 2026. Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick are back in theaters. I think for the anniversary of the first one.
I may need to re-experience both of those.
Yeah, same. But I love that they do that. And I actually didn't know that The Mummy Returns was there. I would have watched it there.
I would have preferred to watch it on the big screen, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're here to celebrate the film's 25th anniversary, which, you know, just the week that just passed as we record this. So, hey, you know, sometimes you're in the mood for gas station candy.
That's a very good way of putting it. Yeah,
that's The Mummy Returns. It's gas station candy.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not an M&M. It's an L&L.
That's hilarious.
So, hey, we're going to watch the movie. If you all want to watch along with us, you certainly can do that. Although I would recommend, if you do want to watch the commentary with us as we are, if you want to watch the movie with us as we are commentating, well, gosh, Brian, I mean, there's only one good way to have that experience. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you want to have the best experience listening to this commentary uninterrupted, the only way to do that is to head over to patreon.com/moviefilmpodcast, where for only $5 a month, you get access to every commentary we've ever done and every episode, of course, absolutely ad-free. No ads, interruptions, butting into the conversation, which of course is a big deal if you're listening to this commentary and trying to watch along with the movie. You don't want an ad bumping in and you suddenly have to pause the commentary and try to keep everything in sync.
It's the best way to have that experience. Plus, there's also plenty of bonus episodes that you know, it's like being part of the Cool Kids Club.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh man, that's the thing. Like our episodes were starting to go past 2 hours, like regularly.
Yeah.
And we try to keep it there, just a manageable length for people to enjoy each week. And we just had so many more things we wanted to talk about. So we're like, well, let's record them anyway. And then we could drop them as bonus episodes, which we do about twice a month over there on the feed.
I'd like to think of those bonus shows. It's sort of like, it's like you get to sit at our table in the cafeteria in high school.
That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah.
You're part of our crew. We got you. We let you in. We gesture towards you to join us.
Yeah. Pull up a seat and bring over your tray with your rectangle cut pizzas and chocolate milk.
That's right. And if you have French fries, don't put mayonnaise on them because that's freaking gross.
You know, don't knock until you tried it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the same thing, and I first heard that in Pulp Fiction, you know? And then when I went over to Europe, tried it, and I was like, oh, I get it.
Color me intrigued.
Think of it like an aioli.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, now this discussion you and I just had, I'd like to think that this is what Rick O'Connell and Evelyn O'Connell talk about.
That's the thing. We don't see them traveling so much when they're going from place to place. What are they talking about when they're on the dirigible or whatever?
Yeah.
You know,
when they're not making goo eyes at each other.
Yeah.
But hey, let's just get right into the movie.
Let's do it.
All right, so we are watching 2001's The Mummy Returns. There's only one cut. It is the theatrical cut. Having watched the movie just recently, I feel like a special edition might have been warranted at some point in the last 25 years, but like special, like George Lucas style.
Oh, to sort of plus the visual effects.
Yeah, just a thought,
or update, I should say.
Yeah. Work out the kinks, so to speak.
This definitely is like a marker in time in terms of visual effects, like digital effects.
It is extremely 2001.
Yeah.
And I mean the year, not the movie.
Right. Esoteric and impenetrable?
Maybe. All right, so we'll do the usual thing. We'll hit play on 3. 1, 2, 3, play. Ready, Brian?
I'm ready.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, play.
All right. Universal.
Well, right up top, as we see the Universal logo, I should say, we hear the chords of Alan Silvestri's music. I really like Alan Silvestri's score for this one.
Mm-hmm.
And he came in to score the sequel because Jerry Goldsmith wanted nothing to do with the sequel.
Did you read this story?
I did not.
So apparently he was doing a concert in London in 2000. And he's like, hey, I'm going to do here's the score from The Mummy. And Goldsmith said that he basically hated the movie and called it, quote, a piece of shit movie. And apparently Stephen Sommers was in the audience.
Wow.
And so Goldsmith wasn't called back.
That makes me feel bad for Stephen Sommers.
Me too. You know, it's I feel like it's a strange thing to be putting on a show and playing a song and then sort of, you've got to assume people are there because they like the song, and if they like the song, they probably like the movie. So why would you knock the thing that the people there probably love?
Yeah.
It seems like kind of a funny thing.
Now, I have to say, I have not seen this movie a ton of times in the last 25 years, but weirdly, I have it committed to memory that The Rock's one line in this movie is Haku Machente.
Oh, funny.
I don't know why I know that.
I think I rewatched this last night, probably for the first time since I saw it back in 2001.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I've seen the Rock as the Scorpion King a lot because that would come up a lot in top 10 lists of like worst,
famously terrible visual effects.
Terrible CGI effects. Yeah. But to be fair to the artists, apparently they didn't have a lot of time to do it. It's very early in the era of doing this sort of thing, like full CGI characters. I mean, we had, I guess technically the first fully CGI character was that stained glass window man from Young Sherlock Holmes.
15 years earlier.
Yeah. And then really the first like main character in a film fully CGI, I think, is Jar Jar Binks.
I would say Jar Jar. Yeah. You might say Casper, perhaps.
Oh, yeah. No, that's true. That's true. But he does. I mean, and that's true in full.
Casper's still a cartoon.
A cartoon. He doesn't have like a lot of detailed features. Yeah.
Yeah.
But still impressive.
Yeah. I think with this film, the reach was greater than the grasp.
For sure.
In terms of the effect. So you can sort of admire the swing, but I think Stephen Sommers, who, one presumes he did not think the first movie was a piece of shit, despite what Jerry Goldsmith thought.
And we don't either, by the way.
No, and I will say I think the first film benefits from restraint, right?
Yeah,
and that's certainly really underscored for me having watched this. But once his Stephen Sommers, I mean, his desire to helm the sequel was contingent on making it bigger and just more of everything. And so that, I would say, works against, the sort of the tone. Like there isn't a lot of dread in this movie. And I think, just going back to what I was saying about Silvestri's score, Silvestri leans into the spectacle of it. I think it's a terrific Silvestri score.
It is. But it's big.
It's very big. And so the movie, like at this point, like I don't consider the first Mummy a horror film, right? But it has, it's at least gesturing towards horror.
Sure.
This one is very much not. Like these Anubis soldiers are pretty. I mean, they got PlayStation 3 energy.
Definitely.
You know?
Well, and then that's kind of what the action feels like too, sort of like a button mashing sort of action where it's not, like you said, not a lot of tension or dread or watch out with your characters. It's just a lot of swinging swords and people exploding into sand. And
What's weird to me, I had this thought watching this as we see this horde of Anubis soldiers just overtaking the planet or, whatever. I'm like, and maybe this is the wrong thought, but I'm like, wouldn't that be like if something like that happened?
yeah, right.
I feel like that would be a thing that was recorded, like you can buy what the first film is putting out there in terms of the mythology, because it's like, it
could be legend or something.
Exactly. But I'm like, well,
this is like a world event.
That's
that's a great point. No, but I'm with you. I enjoy the first one. I'm not like, I didn't grow up with it. Like I know a lot of people who are very passionate about it did, but I enjoy it. And it captures a real throwbacky feel in a way that I enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think it benefits from having kind of a tactile charm to it. Whereas this one, I can appreciate the, wanting to go bigger, of course, with a sequel, but I think this one becomes more, it feels kind of convoluted.
Yeah, well, the mythology doesn't hold up to scrutiny very much.
Well, by the way, I after I watched it, and admittedly, it had been a long day. It was kind of at the end of the day. I was like, what is going on? I was like, you know what? I'll just go to the Wikipedia page and I'll read the summary when it's over. And then I read the Wikipedia page and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, I still don't understand.
Didn't help.
But I was like, you know what? I mean, and that's too bad. I wish they had kind of pulled back a little bit, because I do think the beats are fun. It's just too much all the time. And then you just sort of lose a little bit of the charm and the fun and the human adventure element of it all. Yeah.
So to that point, I would say a lot of the charm for me rests on these characters. I actually, contrary to my usual views on kids in films, because usually they have dumb kid syndrome.
Yes.
I find Freddie Both as Alex O'Connell quite charming. I find him fun in this movie. I think that he's precocious, but not annoyingly so. I think he got some fun moments, and I think especially these scenes with Brendan Fraser, I like them together.
I might have been in the wrong mood.
Wow.
Let's put it this way. I think there's nothing wrong. I think his name is Freddie Boeth.
Yeah, Boeth. Yeah,
he is totally fine. He's a good actor, actually, and he's doing exactly what's asked of him. But I did find his precociousness a little
really
annoying. Yeah, I think here in this opening scene where he's hitting the guys with the slingshot.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know. Like it's just him.
That I'll give you. I'll give you that.
He's just being like a little snot, and that's not what I want out of my like young protagonist, I guess. Because it made me think of young Indy in Last Crusade, and he is being kind of, not bratty, but a little ego and all that stuff. But he's trying to be altruistic, which I think. Now,
to be fair, I mean, he's using his slingshot against the bad guys. Those are they're there to kill the O'Connells.
Then I almost wish it's like they weren't just kind of minding their own business doing stuff. Like if they had been approaching or something and he was keeping them at bay.
That is interesting.
Like it just seems like he's just kind of enjoying hitting these guys with rocks. And by the way, I don't know. This is like I said, I've only seen this like twice. But it's just right at the beginning, I was kind of like, I just wish. And that's the other thing too, is I think I immediately had that feeling where I'm like, why do they always feel like they got to put a kid in these movies?
I think making the O'Connells parents, I actually like that aspect, because I think it adds a different dimension to their relationship.
Yeah. But maybe to what we were saying earlier, if this movie had felt a little bit less like a VFX sizzle reel and more like an actual grounded story about the characters, and I really felt all the things that were happening, versus just being sort of distracted by everything happening around them,
right?
Maybe that would have been more potent for me.
Interesting.
So yeah, I mean, I was thinking, I don't know why executives always feel like there needs to be some sort of avatar for the younger audience.
Okay. So to your point, what I found amusing is that in the earlier scene, O'Connell's like, look, just go somewhere else, just stay out of trouble. He's like, well, Dad, what do you want me to do? He's like, I don't know, it's go build a better mousetrap, right? Which is just a thing you say. And he's like, okay, and he does.
He does it, yeah.
I find that amusing.
I am fully willing to admit I might have just been in the wrong frame of mind.
Like, these are obviously bad guys. I don't think, taking a rock to the kisser is the worst thing in the world,
No, you're probably right. But I do stand by my rarely do I enjoy when it's like, oh, Superman has a kid now. Oh, great.
I'm with you broadly. I'm people who listen to the show know I'm not a fan of dumping kids in the movies. This kid, he tickled me. I found him fun.
Well, and then it made me think, because I like movies about kids on adventures, of course, when it's from their adventure, the Goonies,
right.
Monster Squad, whatever. And then I was like, have I ever liked when they just awkwardly inserted a kid into the story in like a sequel? And of course, Short Round is like the answer for me. I mean, I was like, why? Like, why does he work so well?
Well, it's because you were a little kid when you watched that movie.
Actually, I was much older. I didn't see that movie till I was older.
But how much older?
Late teens.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't see Temple of Doom. That was like the scary one.
Interesting.
And so I think I only saw Raiders and Last Crusade, and somehow I just kind of missed that one. My parents didn't show it to me.
Yeah.
I didn't see it till I was older. But to this day, I still find him very charming because I think he doesn't get in the way. He's not that overly precocious, he knows it all kind of thing. He's calibrated perfectly. And of course, Ke Huy Quan is just magic, Well,
so. You know what? I'm going to say it. I get indie and Short Round energy from Rick and Alex O'Connell.
Oh, interesting. I wish I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to acknowledge that Evelyn's eyebrows are back, and we're grateful for that.
I forgot about that. They're like that pencil thin sort of thing, right, in the first one.
She's got beautiful eyebrows. Why on earth would they,
That is funny. Actually, when she first appeared, I was like, wow, she is beautiful.
Yep. Rachel
Weisz.
Yeah, and the way this movie came together is itself fascinating. The first movie opens first Friday of May 1999, and Saturday morning, Stephen Sommers gets a call from Universal, being like, "Get a sequel together."
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, 2 years to the day, we get the sequel, which is an insanely fast turnaround.
Amazing to write it, to make it, to have all the visual effects done. Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
I mean that's impressive all by itself. And so it is fascinating. I remember the ads, the trailers for this one. It was like listing the entire cast, and I'm like, how many people even know these cast members by name other than Brendan Fraser,
Yeah.
It's like Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, John Hannah, Odette Fair, like the whole, Patricia Velasquez. I'm like, guys,
right.
I'm glad I'm glad they're being acknowledged, but this is a lot,
I wonder what the impulse is to make it feel like it's stacked, like an event or something.
I suppose, or to be like, hey, everybody's back. But I'm like, it was so soon after, right? I'm like, maybe if there was a bigger gap,
right.
To be like, oh, look, we got the whole gang back together,
Right.
I did find that amusing, but I like that they gave Evelyn here's the thing. The first movie ends and it's O'Connell and Evie are kissing, and it's the end of the action hero movie, but they could have very easily just had another O'Connell adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And instead it's like, no, Rick has a family, and like to me it's like, I like that instinct of like, let's do something different than let's situate a different status quo than Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
by making him a family man. And I like that. I like that Rick has the big house and stuff. And there has been the passage of time, because what is this, 10? It's set 10 years later, I think, right?
Yeah. That was funny too when they had the huge house. I was like, good Lord, what does he do for a living? Like. He's like a Wayne. He lives in this big mansion.
Because the beauty of it is the first movie ends and they've got
that's true.
camel loaded up with all the treasure.
That's true. That's true.
So-
Because I read somewhere that Brendan Fraser thought they should live in an apartment.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. I was shocked that they lived in this like big manor. And Sommers was like, no, but I want this big action sequence in your house.
Yeah.
So we need a place with a lot of rooms. But that you're right. That makes a lot of sense. That's a good moment, by the way, catching the rock.
I like that.
No, I you know what? I am going to completely say that I think you've helped me here a little bit with the opening. I'm gonna be honest. I hate to admit it, but I did start this kind of late after a long day. And I was kind of observing the movie more than like really, I think, letting it seep in. And I understand better now that yes, like those are antagonists. And
yeah, they're there to kill the O'Connells.
yeah. Although I still don't love the character. I don't know why.
That's really funny.
But this is a big opening. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
right away they're establishing. Well, it's just more, right? Like this right here. If you remember in the first film, you have Evelyn. She's putting books on shelves. Do you remember this? And then all the shelves fall
Yes.
on top of like a domino. So let's just do that, but with these stone pillars.
yeah.
So this is kind of a yes and movie where like let's just that thing in the first one. Let's just do that, but more.
Yeah.
And I think that I understand the instinct, and certainly, look, in terms of monetarily speaking, this movie was a resounding success.
Oh yeah.
So you can't fault that instinct. I'm somebody who I prefer kind of a slow burn,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just me. That's how I roll.
Well, by the way, I do want to praise. I mean, look, we're looking at actual pillars falling.
Yeah.
Like these aren't visual effects, which now they probably would be, right?
Right.
Because it's probably hard to reset this set, frankly, and I can appreciate that.
That's a one shot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the movie Uncharted a couple years ago we were talking about, where I was like, this movie doesn't feel dusty enough.
Yeah.
If it's about an adventurer out in the jungle, or in caves.
It's just a bunch of people in front of green screens.
Yeah, or volumes. I'm sure they had a couple sets, but they just, there's an over-reliance on just filling everything in later in post. And I really do appreciate that this does feel like a dusty adventure. Like it does feel like they're in these places, and that is really great and goes a long way, I think. So, I mean, they add a lot of stuff on top of it that we can talk about later, maybe too much. But I do love that them sliding and the water sloshing around and it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's funny. As Harold's picking up.
He's winning you over.
We'll see. Let's see what happens.
I mean, there is a moment later in the film where it's like a Bart Simpson thing, right? Like the Are We There Yet?
Yes.
And I was sitting there, I was sort of chuckling as it was happening, but I was wondering, I wonder, does this make Brian smile or make him annoyed? I was actually thinking that.
You know me so well. It's so funny because I don't know. I am wired to enjoy something like that, but something about my experience last night was just I was not resonating with that character.
you weren't in a proper headspace.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. But I like the the Mummy being such a big hit and Universal being like, we're making another one tomorrow. I can totally understand that. I mean, obviously because it was a hit, but also I think everybody would love to come up with a new Indiana Jones. And that's not an easy thing to do because Indiana Jones is still around, right? And it's Spielberg and it's hard to top a movie that's, over 40 years old still. But I really appreciate that this comes pretty darn close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it is its own thing, but it captures the spirit of those films in a lot of ways. You can't help but think about all those people digging in the desert in Raiders of the Lost Ark in this moment, right? We have just all these people, real people, a real place. It doesn't look, there's real depth. I can tell they're shot in an actual location, which goes a long way for me. And the camera work too. There's a lot of sort of pivoting the camera around and reframing things. That's a lot of fun and that really excites me. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Oh, and of course we got to
That's,
have
It's so
gotta have the
gross.
scarabs. Got to have more scarabs.
Yep.
I don't know. You know, I think scarabs to me are like movie quicksand.
Mm.
Where I'm like, well, if I ever encounter a scarab, it's either gonna, him and his cousins are gonna just eat me alive, or they're gonna crawl into my skin. I think all because of this movie and the earlier one. Look at that shit
This is pretty horrifying.
crawling under your skin and doing all that stuff. Look at that. Yeah,
I like that. I like that. I like the lighting in that shot. I like the him spitting them out of his mouth. It's good.
Stephen Sommers, interesting dude, right? I think what works against him, to your point about the inevitable indie comparisons, is that Stephen Sommers is no Steven Spielberg, and that's through no fault of Stephen Sommers.
No, and I wouldn't even. I think he does a good job with these movies.
I think so, but I think that the through line from the Mummy to G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
So you got the Mummy Returns, Van Helsing, G.I. Joe, is that he tends to be just beholden to the digital end of things, to the point where there's an artificiality that takes over.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts. I think that, again, it's what we say before. Just your limitations work in your favor. And again, I mean, it's the same critique that so many people had about the Star Wars special editions just a couple of years before this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like suddenly, George Lucas wasn't limited to whatever crayons were in the box. He owned the crayon factory.
Yeah.
And so he started making changes that to many people diminished that experience, right? And again, it's just one of those things where, when you're forced to be like, well, we can't do this. What's a way to convey this?
Mm-hmm.
I think that can work in your favor.
Yeah.
I think with this movie, kind of to the point you're making, the way Summer stages his action sequence, I think that the scene coming up in the mansion is there's a lot of fun stuff happening there.
I agree. It's
Right.
a good playground, and they make good use of it.
Hey, there's my man Ardeth Bay.
Yeah, he's great.
He's got a ton to do in this one. That made me very happy.
Yep.
As I mentioned in our track for the first film, Ardeth Bay, played by Oded Fair, was kind of a formative film character for me because I grew my hair out long just because of this character.
And what works too is that you can rock that. It's not like it looked great on everybody. You rocked it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It took several years to grow it out that long, and then it peaked a few years ago. But it was true. It was the Ardeth Bay memorial haircut.
What was I watching the other day? I don't even remember, but it was something modern, and I was like, man, everything just looks so flat. It's so frustrating. And then looking at this, I'm like, just this room.
There's depth.
They're in a room.
Concept.
Yeah. But it's, I know this is old man shaking fist at cloud or whatever, but like, people are going to get used to it. And that's what movies, to me, this is what movies look like.
Right.
And I just see shortcuts and things now.
Yeah.
But for new generations, that's what movies are going to look like. And that's just, I'm sure, I'm going to be like those people generations before who are like, no, a movie's black and white. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So just it's the way it goes.
True in the sense that, like, just a couple of years before this came out, Michael Bay really burst into the zeitgeist, and sort of that really sun-drenched, colors popping view, which we saw through Bad Boys and The Rock and Armageddon, Pearl Harbor this same summer.
Yep. Transformers, I think, is one of the biggest offenders, where everybody's like orange and it's like crazy.
And that's very much his style, right?
Yeah.
And yet, how many people were inspired by that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think of that as like an aughts kind of thing.
Oh yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Yeah. See this stuff. I like that. That's panache. You know what I mean? Like this sort of establishing shot sort of thing, and a car pulling up, but it pulls right up, and like a shade that's been pulled down over a window fills the frame. Then the shade goes up and reveals the villain.
That's the good stuff.
People don't do that stuff anymore. Intentionality. I miss it.
What a concept.
Yeah, that's why I do like. Even though I can't say I'm passionate about this movie, but it does. It delights parts of me that I love having delighted by movies, just like panache in shots,
Yeah.
I like it. But that's, I never saw Van Helsing, by the way.
Yeah.
So that is...
By the way, worth mentioning, the O'Connell mansion, that's Wayne Manor in Batman Begins.
Well, I'll be damned. I didn't even know that when I was saying that. Seriously, the first thing I thought was like, what are they, the Waynes? And like, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
So by the way, this
you're
kid,
talking about Van Helsing. Sorry.
Oh, no. Well, yeah. So Van Helsing, I guess, so I'm thinking like Stephen Sommers, I wouldn't have minded if someone maybe had pulled him back a little bit story-wise, or just sort of with the set pieces. Keep the set pieces, but just they don't need to be so much, like they're dialed a little too much, to the point where like, the music is so loud, not literally, but just, where everything's peaking. It's like, no, it's too much for us to grasp what we're supposed to be rooting for or, enjoying. But I like his style, for the most part, generally here. So it kind of bums me out that he's not still doing stuff.
I know, he just noped out of his career.
Yeah. Because I think he's got something, Well,
my thought is maybe he got tired of getting shit on.
Maybe.
Right? Like,
maybe.
I mean, look, that Jerry Goldsmith story just makes me sad, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
I just feel genuinely bad for him being in the audience, so excited to hear the music from his movie. And, like, I don't know. Yeah, here's the music here's the awesome music I wrote for this piece of shit freaking movie.
Yeah, that sucks.
I don't know. And
by the way, I just wanted to comment. Something I like in movies is when like a couple, they don't feel this need for them to be skeptical of one another. Like they're in love and they trust each other. They're a team. And I like this moment where you see those stockings hanging from that bookcase. And she's like, those aren't mine. But she never for a second thinks that, Brendan Fraser's doing anything.
That's a great
sketchy.
Wow.
It's just
I didn't even think about that.
Right? It's like, wait, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with him. And they're both like, yeah, it is. We got to figure this out. Like, I love when romantic couples are like teams like that.
Well, I genuinely, I love the Rick and Evie relationship in this one. I mean, they're just a couple in love.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have done the thing, which we see in so many of these movies, where in the years since they have broken up, and this is them getting back together, kind of the Peter Venkman Dana story, right? Like, or Indy in Crystal Skull or whatever. They didn't do that.
Yep. Or Han and Leia.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. You know.
Yep.
I like that. I like that idea that it's like, no, they're just they're happily married and in love. What a concept.
Yeah, and I mean, they can disagree.
Yeah.
And they can not like the way that the other does things from time to time. But I just love that there's an implicit trust. It's not like, oh, you're a dog. Like immediately jumping to conclusions about
that's right.
The partner.
Yeah. John Hannah is fun in these. He's a very like serious English actor. So this character lets him kind of be a little sillier.
Yeah, I wish he worked a little bit more for me, this character, but he's doing it perfectly.
He plays that type very well.
Exactly. He's doing a great job. I just wish I found him funnier. I'm so sorry for people who love these movies. I wish I was, but I gotta speak my truth.
What do you think of Mr. Echo here? You gonna
I was very happy to see him.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, come on. The camera pushing in on him and the lightning on his face.
He's got a great presence.
It's fantastic.
See that right there, man. Evie's a badass. She's
I know.
Like, got her sword. She's like, get out of my house.
And it's funny because sometimes you have a sequel where a character is kind of thrown into action in the first movie, and then in the second movie, many times, on a story level, you want them to be involved and step up a little bit. But sometimes the actor themselves wants like, hey, I need something to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you give them a scene that just doesn't fit into the movie just so they can like do a stunt or something. Like you can feel it awkwardly like jerry-rigged to fulfill some sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I thought they did a great job of making her slip right into being like an action hero in this alongside Rick.
I agree with that. The only thing I kind of roll my eyes at is that, oh, she's actually the Pharaoh's daughter reincarnated. And that right there, when the guy throws the knife at Rick and he catches it.
That's very cool.
It is cool, but I'm also like, that knife was not going to hit him.
He didn't even have to like risk his hand.
Yeah, it was nowhere near him.
It's like a well done. I like the way that it's captured. I think it's like captured well and it looks cool. But no, dude, that's where I was going on Wikipedia. I was like, wait, what? Like she's the daughter. Is this literally a reincarnation? Is this
Rick is a reincarnated magi?
Yeah. Well, this is like post the Matrix. It's like everyone had to be the one. Even Jet Li made a movie called The One.
The One.
I was like, whatever.
It's a lot.
But then I thought about it. I was like, so he didn't have that tattoo in the first one? I guess he had those like wrist cuff things on.
Yeah.
I mean, was that like just a great coincidence where they're like, hey, we can put a tattoo where he had those cuffs on the whole movie?
I don't even if he didn't have those wrist cuffs, they probably would have just, I mean, like, how much time does Ardeth Bay spend looking at O'Connell's wrist?
Yeah, it's like Shawshank. How often do you really look at a man's shoes?
Exactly.
How often do you look at the underside of a man's wrist?
That's hilarious.
Hey, oh my gosh. Zachy, I have a tattoo here.
Oh,
it's a map.
But, well, if I were to tell you that I'm a stranger traveling at night or whatever.
And just because, I can't shy away from this now. It's a commentary. I can't change what I said. Just because I was like looking at the kid, just sort of like, kid. Like when he took the wrist thing, he just finds this cool thing and is like, I'm taking it, and like puts it on and replaces it with the thing. I was just like, like, I don't know why. I don't know why that was the point of view I had. But it's great story-wise.
I think it is. And I again, this is weird because it's like our roles are reversed.
I know. It's so funny.
Normally I'm the guy who's like, goddamn kid. Wrong kid died. I find Alex quite fun in this one.
Yeah.
But no, I think the mechanism of this ridiculous, whatever, the bracelet of Anubis, like, okay, like it's really cockamamie. I mean, just all of it.
Yeah, now I know not to ask, because I was going to be like, wait, who are these people? What do they want? Why are they trying to bring this about? Who are they trying to stop? It doesn't matter.
So
get the kid back.
Yeah, that's really all you need to know. But these folks are working for Patricia Velasquez's character, who's the reincarnation. Right. She's the reincarnation of Anaxunamun. So she wants them to bring back Imhotep, so that he will then unite her with Anaxunamun's soul. Mm-hmm. And since it's the year of the scorpion, they can use the scepter of Osiris to control the Scorpion King and his army. So there.
I was just picturing Stephen Sommers in the room watching, like a slow camera push in on him as you're speaking, and like his eyes, like a tear is slowly forming. And then we just cut like a little wide, and he just, no words, just gives you this huge hug. He gets it.
See, I picture him nodding like Miyagi at the end of the first movie. Right. And then I'm like, that's what's going on in this piece of shit movie. And then he's like, God damn it.
That's hilarious.
See, like this piece right here, where Ardeth Bay's like, well, you've set in course the chain reaction is gonna, and then O'Connell's like, you settle down, you in trouble, it's funny, like there's
a real 30s sort of tone.
Yeah, and in addition to that, this goes to a comment you made when we were talking through the first film, which is you felt like the O'Connell character wasn't really working for you because it felt like Brendan Fraser was playing kind of a tough guy.
Yeah.
I feel like this one leans more into his charm.
Yes.
Right.
Plays more to his personality.
Yeah. It's a little bit like, something we said about Jurassic World, which is that the Chris Pratt character, it doesn't let him be Chris Pratt-y enough.
Mm-hmm.
And the sequels kind of let a little bit more of that shine through.
Yeah. I remember in the first one, it felt like I was watching an actor puff his chest.
Yes.
Acting like an action hero. Even though the thing though, I think Brendan Fraser is kind of like Keanu Reeves in a way, where people just like love the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I agree with that. Like, and I think he does feel like Brendan Fraser in most of his roles, but I love Brendan Fraser. You know what I mean? And so I agree with you. I think in this one, he gets to be a little bit more himself and it comes across a little bit more natural. For me.
No, I think partly it's just the comfort level from coming back to a role that people liked him in,
Yeah.
I'm sure he feels happier. He got $12.5 million for this movie.
Ooh, nice.
He got $4 million for the first one. So that's a nice little pay grade.
Hey, great.
So just kind of comfort level. I mean, he talked about it. It's like, coming back for another semester of school, here, the whole gang is back.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if as we record this, the fourth movie is still in process, it's coming out next year. If they don't bring back Oded Fair as Ardeth Bay, they're going to have a very angry email from me arriving. I'm going to be quite perturbed.
They must, right?
Yeah, they better.
Well, it's funny because there's a third one that I've actually never seen.
Yeah. You will. Plan for that next year.
Yeah, because the ride at Universal Studios in Los Angeles, that's what all the sort of decorations and artwork are.
It's from the third one?
Well, it used to be at least. Maybe it's been revised. I don't know.
That seems like a miscalculation.
That's like always the thing, right? It's like by the time a theme park can actually put out a ride, it's like, the steam for that movie is usually kind of
a little Rise of the Republic energy, or what is it? Rise of the Resistance energy?
Yeah, exactly.
Rise of the Resistance, yeah.
Although there was a year where my friend Chad and I, we got Universal Studios used to have a great deal on year passes.
Okay.
Or season passes. And it was like if you bought a ticket for one day, you got a season pass or something crazy like that.
Oh, wow.
So we're like, let's do it. And then we had this thing for a year. It would be Saturday morning and he'd be like, yo, man, you want to go ride the Mummy? I was like, yeah. So we just go to Universal, ride the Mummy maybe twice, do the Simpsons ride, then call it, all right, what now? Yeah. Lunch? So I've been on that ride a lot.
So wait, the Mummy ride was built around Tomb of the Dragon Emperor?
I do remember when you exit the ride, that was the artwork on the walls.
Fascinating.
Yeah. But the ride itself is a bit, it's more like a roller coaster. It's less like the Indiana Jones ride at Disney where it's a real vast sort of set you're riding through and it's more like stuff kind of coming at you. It's fun. It's like a roller coaster in the dark.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So this movie, you said you saw this in the theater when it came out?
I don't remember, if I'm being honest. There was one movie, and I said this in the last commentary, when you worked at that television station and you guys were like duping a bunch of movies. Someone gave me one of the Mummy movies.
Oh, it was the first one because this is 2001. By then I definitely wasn't working there.
Okay, so I couldn't remember which one it was, but okay, that's how I watched the first one, and I don't remember when I saw this.
Yeah, 2001. You were at Trinity, right? Or were you at Biola by then?
I guess I was. Yeah. Wow. Isn't that strange? Like 10 years ago, I would have, with complete clarity, been able to tell you. Now I'm like, I don't remember.
Wow.
Yeah. I went to a bunch of different colleges.
Yeah. So we gave you, I remember, I said, hey guys, don't do these illegal duplications.
You're like, tap, tap, tap this thing on?
Yeah.
I said no.
They shoved me in the storage closet, and I'm assuming all of the trading went on as I was desperately trying to get out. But
Perfect. I think that should cover it.
But yeah, that was the first film, and then this one I did not see this opening weekend. I remember very distinctly. I saw it the Monday after it opened.
Okay.
I went with Javier, my friend from I used to work at a wedding videography studio.
And I remember that. Yeah.
I was like, I think I'm going to go watch The Mummy Returns today. He's like, I'll come with you. And so, you know what I remember actually is opening weekend. See, stuff that comes back. I remember I was trying to go see it the Saturday that it opened, and it was sold out. I just couldn't get in anywhere.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, this movie was a pretty big deal, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it was, let's see, it grossed 68 million domestically in its opening weekend. And that was the second biggest opening in history behind Lost World Jurassic Park.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
So and then that record was broken later this summer by Planet of the Apes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This summer was crazy. You had, just for Universal, you had this, you had the Fast and the Furious.
Oh, wow.
Right. And what else was American Pie was this summer?
2, yeah.
American Pie 2, that's right, the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Universal did okay this summer.
Yeah. Actually, I was looking, because I always get curious for me mentally to put it in time.
Rush Hour 2 was this summer.
Yeah, so the top 10 box office, I'll just run through it really fast of the year. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, number 1, or Philosopher's Stone, depending on where
Lord
you
of the
listen.
Rings.
Shrek, Monsters, Inc., Rush Hour 2, Mummy Returns, Pearl Harbor, remember that? Jurassic Park 3, Planet of the Apes, Hannibal, and The Fellowship of the Ring was number 10.
Fellowship was number 10?
Yep.
That's kind of amazing, actually.
That is.
That Hannibal,
yeah.
I hated that movie. I don't hate movies. I hated that.
But, yeah. Oh, Ocean's 11 was this year?
Yeah. Oh, it's a big year.
Castaway. It's a lot of great movies.
Castaway was 2000, wasn't it? Castaway was end of 2000.
Yeah, I agree with you. So I don't know why. This is off Box Office Mojo, domestic box office for 2001.
It must be because it continued to make.
Oh, maybe that has to do also with Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, I was about to say. Yeah, that makes sense. Because Lord of the Rings was like December, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Because Harry Potter was November.
Yep.
I remember that. I remember watching Harry Potter opening night and falling asleep, and then that's just been my experience with the Sorcerer's Stone, as I keep falling asleep in that movie.
You've never made it through. I remember you talking about that. Well, you get a new chance with the HBO series.
I'll get right on it. So let's talk about this action sequence. I think going to what you were saying before, there is a tactility to it.
Oh, yeah. Like in a big warehouse, real flames. By the way, I do want to say I can appreciate why they do fake flames these days.
Yeah.
Truly, it's safety should be paramount.
Yeah.
You know, and I do.
And Universal. and 20th Century Fox, honestly.
Yeah, and all of them. Maybe Warner Brothers, looks like. But yeah, there's just something. But what I do love is it's not like they like extended the room digitally. You know, so there's just it doesn't have like a real sort of depth like you were saying earlier. I love this, seeing all the machine gun fire and flames and things get knocked over. It looks great. This is kind of funny. Although I felt like they should jump out right after this moment.
Right. That would sell the gag better.
Yeah. She's they've just run out of the building and she's putting a bench in front of the door thinking it'll stop all the supernatural bad guys. He's like, no. These kind of people don't use doors. But then they wait like 45 seconds until they jump.
There's a whole other sequence here.
Yeah. So right here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little surprised they didn't do it differently.
See, so the first movie ends with like mummy soldiers, and so it's like, okay, well, we gotta check the list. We gotta make sure we have them in there, and then we gotta make sure we get O'Connell with a nice trailer line right there. I hate the mummies.
Yeah, right.
You ever been in a double-decker bus? I'm sure you have, right?
No, I haven't.
Really?
I don't. Well, now that I think about it, I've never been to London, but
Okay.
maybe like some sort of tour bus sort of thing where you're sitting on the top.
Don't they
Sort of
have
like in Hollywood.
Don't they have double deckers in Paris?
I haven't ridden one.
I feel like because I've been in one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think it was in London, so it must have been Paris. Anyway. This I get heavy T2 vibes in this sequence here where they're where Rick is like shooting up right here. Look at that.
I thought same thing.
Right?
Yep.
In the elevator. Elevator, yep.
Yep. Should have had the little boy be like, "What the F is it? What the F is going on?" Yeah, this stuff is cool. I like it. I like action sequence on a moving vehicle is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of opportunity. There's like a great little sort of Spielberg-y, I feel, setup thing with him losing the shotgun.
Right.
And then we follow it on the outside of the bus and we see Weisz look at it, which is an amazing setup for her having it like 20 seconds later.
Yeah.
That's great. I don't know. I like this stuff. Speaking of Sommers,
Yeah. I think, Brendan Fraser, you can see for a lot of these close-ups. I mean, that's him getting tossed around.
Yeah, you can tell. And a lot later, too, a lot of his flipping around and getting blasted through the air. You can see his face.
It's clearly him. And, he talked about years later how, it looked great for the film, but I mean, it left him just a broken down husk of a man,
I bet.
Held together by spirit gum and baling wire,
Yeah.
That's kind of, for a lot of these young actors, I mean, Fraser was probably in his early 30s here when he did this. You think the check won't come due.
Yeah.
And it catches up to you. It catches up to everybody,
Yeah, there it is. That. It doesn't, well, and that's the thing too, is when you do it 5 times, and like just landing on your knees hard and getting whipped around and, like we might take a tumble, fall down a little hill or something and that's that. But like,
last night I was coming down the stairs because there was a light on in the kitchen. I wanted to turn it off. And it was dark enough that I missed a step at the bottom of the steps.
Yeah.
So I just kind of, my feet came out from under me and I sat down and I was like, if I lie down and die right here, I think that'd probably be the perfect end to this story. Cause that's what it felt like.
I'm sorry.
I was like sitting there. I'm like, oh God, I got to go back up those stairs.
Those are those like real life pains,
right? So I have nothing but respect for Brendan Fraser getting tossed hither and thither.
Yeah. Well, it'd been nice if you gotten 12 million for it.
That's a good point.
Which still is no reason to hurt your body. By the way, by the way, speaking of T2 vibes, we get the top half of the bus.
Yeah, right.
Peeled off there with a low overhang. That's cute. I'll give it to him. Great driving.
Little Alex is winning you over.
By the way, so Freddie Boath is how I'm going to say it. I hope I'm saying it correct. Apparently, he was a huge fan of the first Mummy movie.
Yeah.
And he passed on an opportunity to be in Harry Potter because he wanted to be in
to audition for it.
To audition.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to be in this movie so badly. And I was like, oh man.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say? Because that kid is, well, he's not a kid anymore. He's like in his 30s now.
Yeah.
He's working in marketing or whatever, just living a normal adult life.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of like, you know what, that was the best path for him.
And you know what? If he then looks back on his acting career and he gets to see himself in his favorite movie franchise, he wins.
I agree with that. It's in the third film, they Alex is like in his 20s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so they recast the role. And I was thinking about that. Like, well, that would suck. Like if they like this fourth one that they're doing, I would say, well, if you're gonna have Alex, you should have the original Alex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which they don't tend to do, right? When they do the sequels.
That's right.
Sort of like Independence Day, I remember.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right.
They recast the president's daughter, and yeah. Kind of a bummer.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
Yeah. I was curious, by the way. I was reading that they had to close down London's Tower Bridge, so they could film.
Yeah.
And they were only allowed to do it for 20 minutes at a time. So,
that makes sense.
Which totally makes sense, but it created a bunch of traffic jams. And apparently it became such a fiasco that they reduced their time to 10 minutes. And so
interesting. Okay.
I was just curious if you've ever encountered something like that, like a road closed down for filming or...
Oh, wow. I have not, but I guess I've been lucky in that way, right? Because certainly in Chicago, there's plenty of filming that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
I've never encountered it. When there's filming in the Bay Area, it's in the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that,
sure.
Well ahead of time. I remember a few years ago, like you had Matrix 4 and Venom and a couple other things that were all shooting right around the same time.
Yeah.
So, I was getting, I was hearing from people in the city like, oh, I saw such and such and they blocked off this and that. But I'm far enough out of the city that I haven't encountered it.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't encountered anything major like that where like a major freeway has been, rerouted or whatever.
What about like a James Corden flash mob?
Wait, didn't we see that? I do feel like we did see something.
Did we see that?
I feel like we did. Because we were right by CBS Studios and we saw traffic was being stopped and people were kind of doing stuff.
Yes.
On the crosswalks.
That's right. Okay. I do remember that.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but I have seen, there was a car chase that was filmed right around the corner from me a couple months ago.
Wow.
And so, and so basically, ADs or whoever, or PAs were blocking traffic. So they would let traffic go, east to west for a little bit, but then they would stop them for like 5 minutes. And then there was like a big van chasing after a little car and there were drones following it. And then they'd reset and then they'd let the cars go and then they'd do it over and over again. And it was, cars were pissed, man. Like I, cause it was right there. I just sat and watched it for a while. Mm-hmm. And, I can imagine like, you think you're going to be somewhere in 5-10 minutes or something. And then you're just sitting there and you don't know what's going on. And people are just telling you can't go through a green light. I can understand being frustrated with that.
Well, look, if I'm behind the wheel of my car and a James Corden flash mob broke out, I'm saying I my foot might find the gas. That's all I'm saying.
James Corden was understandably run over today by a citizen. You know what did happen though? One time I was driving down the 101 and a band was in a big van or a truck or something.
Okay.
And they cut off traffic. Like they took over, like cut all the lanes off. And then the band stood on top of the truck and they filmed a music video.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember being in that and I was stuck and I didn't know what was going on. And I read that that's what happened later. And I was like, there's like a fraction of a % of me that is just like, wow, the audacity or like the balls or whatever. Yeah. But mostly I'm like, dude, what if an ambulance needed to get through there?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Those people need a beating.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine if you were the front row? Like blocked off and watching these people get up and be like, all right, 2, 3, 4, you know, I don't know. Anyway,
those band members need to be put in a room with the corpse of Imhotep while holding canopic urns.
Yes. And then they get released. So that's then right. Mummy 4 is like the mummy and the ghost of those guys. Like, oh, like
that's what happens.
We walk again. Oh. Live to rock another day. Oh. and then Imhotep's just like, huh? As they're like following him around.
That's hilarious.
I did love like this. He's got this timeline, sort of like The Ring, where it's like 5 days you're going to die or something. And then he pulls the hourglass thing. And I was like, that feels very imprecise.
That's funny. So this bit where where Alex is, so like he's speaking in English to Alex.
Yes.
I was like, is that like, does Alex understand him because he speaks ancient Egyptian?
Well, I was going to say, yeah, presumably, because I think they do the Hunt for Red October thing, right? Where they like push in on his lips a little bit.
That's right.
Because he's speaking, I don't know when he's speaking, but then he like comes back out.
Yeah.
And then he's speaking English all of a sudden, which every time I see that, I always think, what a clever device.
Yeah, they do that well in the 13th Warrior. Except you've not seen that movie, I don't think, right? Yeah, so that's Antonio Banderas plays an Arab who's with these Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they do it there is like you just see him like watching them talk. And so you're through the passage of time, you're able to montage that he just figures out their language just by listening to them talking.
I like that.
But it's done in like a very cool way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, if you and I were stuck in a train car with Imhotep, I would shove you at him. So I'm just letting you know. I'm sorry. I want you to know, as your friend, I would feel bad about it, but I would totally do that.
And then when I survive,
that would be awkward. It would make our next episodes very awkward.
And then I approach you slowly, and I'm covered in mummy dust.
Yeah,
just blowing it out of my face.
Yeah. You'd be like Conan in that one where he becomes the Hulk. You'd be like, look what you did.
Exactly. That's funny. That's actually what I was picturing is us like driving, like just cut to us in a car because you drove or whatever. And like, it's just silence, but I'm still, got dust coming off of me in the passenger seat.
Yeah, that would happen.
Yeah.
See, we're getting into like the limits of early aughts CG abilities,
Yeah.
We just weren't quite there yet. I was thinking about how, again, Planet of the Apes was this summer, right? The Tim Burton one. And how that 10 years later, with the rise of the Planet of the Apes, we had the Andy Serkis apes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how at this point, you still needed Rick Baker practical effects to make it, the CG just wasn't there yet.
Yep.
And it's weird because I knew even when I watched this movie, I was like, the CGI ain't great.
I was kind of wondering, I wish I could put myself back in 2001.
Right.
Because I'm sure some of it looks okay, but some of it doesn't.
Yeah. I distinctly, obviously the Scorpion King, like everybody knows that, but like even the Anubis soldiers and stuff, I was like, I don't know about that. And I didn't have that reaction to the Mummy, the first film.
Yeah.
Which, like, watching now, you're like, well, it's maybe a few renders away from where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, I was like, no, that looks pretty solid. So it felt like they were ahead of their skis.
Yeah. Yeah. Somehow, in the first one, I think Imhotep's face is in a sandstorm or something.
Yeah.
And I remember that looking like fine. But in this one, when he's in the wave, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
How did we go backwards?
And I think it's the same issue that we have today. Well, you give these technicians enough time, they'll give you something special.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were literally finishing up the effects the week of the premiere.
Yeah, that's wild.
And,
And also, this was the beginning of, relatively speaking, of CGI and new sorts of things. And maybe it's easier to create a face in sand particles, and water had not been quite perfected yet.
I mean, maybe, but
because the Perfect Storm, I remember, was like a big leap forward for water.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? Like, this is still kind of early playing with different elements and seeing what you can, the elements, period, just coming up with fake water, period, but then trying to manipulate the water to put some sort of fantastical face in it.
Right.
And they just weren't quite there yet.
Perfect Storm was the year before this, I think, right?
Okay, yeah. If you watch that ILM documentary on Disney Plus, they talk about that and just the math of trying to create fake water.
Yeah.
And it's highly recommend that. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's the ILM. It's like 3 episodes, I think, behind the scenes about, I don't know, them starting with Star Wars all the way up to today. And it's really fascinating.
So tell me you weren't partially expecting that Falcon to end up served on a dinner plate like in the Legend of Zorro movie?
Totally.
We found your like, were you trying to send this message?
Yeah.
It's kind of disappointed we didn't get that, to be honest.
See, this stuff, like, I know some of those things probably in the background aren't real or whatever, but like, I don't know, just like having the real shrubbery back there. I just feel like everything is so overtouched these days.
Yeah.
That it just gives the illusion of just nothing feels quite right or real.
Yeah, well, I think it is kind of the Marvel problem, right? Where what the Marvel folks have realized is in order to get these movies with these enormous casts, well, you film wherever is convenient for them, and then you just smush them together.
Yeah, and then you fill it all in later.
Yeah, and I think that can work up to a point, but you do start running into the limitations. Like, we remember a year ago we were talking about Captain America: Civil War, how very obviously Scarlett Johansson was nowhere near anybody else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, or it's like now because they can, they'll be like, we shot this scene to take place in a library, but we decided later we'd rather have it be on a basketball court.
Right.
Yeah, so then they just change every element around the actors. And I just really do feel like you feel that. By the way, this whole going across the moon thing in the dirigible or whatever, I was like, that's ridiculous. And I love it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a fantasy.
Yeah.
It feels almost like fairy tale like, and I kind of liked it. I don't know. Do you have feelings about that?
Well, you can't help but think of E.T. and Elliot.
Totally.
Right.
Oh, by the way, there's this amazing line here. Yeah, that where he goes, "It is written." He's like, "Where is all this stuff written?" I love that. It's so funny.
Well, that's why you have a character like Jonathan, is to just kind of, to lampshade some of the silliness of this stuff,
Yeah, but I mean, we hear that in so many movies,
It is written.
It is written. And we're like, okay. I believe you because you said it was written somewhere.
Where?
But it's like, where? Where is it written?
And just the movie stops there. Show me where it's written.
Right.
Go on. I got nowhere to be. Show me.
That'd be like so Family Guy. And then you cut to them stopping their adventure and having to go to some special library and the book's checked out. They're like, well, it's here. You can see it in the card catalog, but.
See, I like this moment right here. Just, I want my son back. It's just it's a nice moment,
Yeah, make him feel like a family.
It's tricky, right? Because we have to feel their sense of peril because it's their child, and one can imagine what they're going through. But yet, Alex, he can't be helpless either, and so he's sort of plucky, and so I mean there's sort of two masters that are being serviced there.
Yeah,
but I think it works.
I think it's nice. I think it helps a lot. It kind of makes me think I wish we had seen a scene of them as a trio.
Yeah,
a family unit or something, because at the beginning he basically almost kills his parents, through his tomfoolery in the caves. And then, when they're talking at the top of the stairs, he's just kind of messing around with the wrist thing.
But he doesn't almost kill his parents. I mean, they're separately having their own tomfoolery. See, this right there, this is the Bart Simpson moment.
Yeah.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And then he puts the knife in the thing. And he's like, great aim. And he's like, I missed.
That's good. Yeah.
Come on, it's funny.
I can imagine a scene where he's doing something and almost gets into trouble, but then Rick lifts him up and he's like, hey, got to be careful there. And she's like, just like your father. We see them as a unit or something. We don't have that scene.
Well, we see Alex with his dad and we see Alex with his mom, and we see both of them have a fun relationship with him. I think that does some of the work there.
Yeah.
Look at that. Arnold Vosloo. He's back, baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. It's what are we, an hour in?
Yeah. I don't know if this new film is going to be Imhotep centric, but that would be a challenge to surmount.
Because he's aged.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's not, he's an old guy now.
Yeah, like he should, just because he is like a preserved dead person. Yeah, he should look the same.
Look the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you do. Come up with a line. It's like that "thank you for smoking" line. Like how do we have smoking in space? I don't know. Just have a line where you said, "Thank God they invented the whatever."
The rejuvenation curse is
exactly.
It's like, oh, but he has to have the appearance of a man in his 70s or
yeah. Or it's just he's not fully restored.
There you go.
Like the process is happening, but it gets interrupted, and he's like partially there. Gross.
I was about to say, if that's my option, I might just stay on the train.
Yeah, toilet water.
To climb through a toilet hole.
Yeah. Toilet Hole. That'd be a good band name.
Toilet. It would be a good band. Was that the band that stopped the traffic?
Yeah, right. We are Toilet Hole. Thank you, 101 freeway. 2, 3, 4, my love for you.
That's hilarious.
They're just not what you expect at all. That's cool looking. Those are like guys on wires getting thrown around.
It's old school.
Yeah. Not that, but earlier. It's scary. You know what I mean? Like when the physics feel real and something's being manipulated by a bad guy, it's scary.
That's the thing, right? That's what so many movies forget about.
Mm-hmm.
Is just keep a semblance of reality, and that's just going to work wonders for pulling us in,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know the trade-off is you get, a knee that never works the same, or whatever, if you're Brendan Fraser. But later I was thinking, when you see him getting thrown around and spinning in the air, and you're like, holy crap, that really is him.
Yeah.
And even this looks cool. The kid in the air. Like now, again, I'm all for safety being first, but like you get these digital doubles and they look pretty good, I gotta say, actually, for the most part. Sometimes I don't even realize it's a digital double, but there just really is something to be said about, or at least getting a shot of them like rolling into frame or something, and the appearance like they're really involved in the action. And like, I don't know. I noticed it in this film and I appreciated it.
That's enough.
Yeah. So I'm sorry for the aches and the Advil that Fraser is probably taking down.
Sorry, Brendan.
Yeah. But I appreciate you.
Well, that's been nice for especially over the last few years. Brendan Fraser has hopefully gotten to see how beloved he is.
Totally.
I
feel like when he was doing a press tour for, I don't know if it was The Whale or I forgot what the last one was, but I feel like people were saying that and reading things to him. And there were clips that I saw where he was getting like emotional hearing how appreciated he is. And
he's a really like humble dude. That's, that's the sense that you get. I mean, I don't know if you remember when we were at the Hollywood Critics Awards a couple of years ago. Remember he was there?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And just, I mean, I didn't even go approach him, but I mean, you could just see the look on his face. It was like, what am I doing here kind of thing, which made me happy.
I remember when he was in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yep.
I was like, dude, you're in a Scorsese movie. Like he's my friend or something, like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So this all bit here, how much do you think this was like, hey, we want to put Rachel Weisz in like a really skimpy.
I mean, yeah, totally.
Right. All this reincarnation a go-go is a little much.
Yeah, it feels like a few extra steps than we need. However, I got to give credit where it's due. Apparently, they really did train for all this stuff, and it does. Yeah. It looks cool. Like the fighting with size. I mean, even the Ninja Turtles struggle to make fighting with size look good.
Now, I don't think that's really Rachel McAdams doing those somersaults.
Or Weisz, yeah, no.
Yeah. Did I say Rachel McAdams?
Yeah.
It's definitely not Rachel McAdams. I know that as a
Actually, dude, you won't believe this bit of trivia. It is. But there's enough here of them twirling stuff around and whatever. It cuts well.
But it's this, and then the final fight scene. There's a little Matrix-ish stuff happening.
For sure.
Right? Where it's like, where you watch it, you're like, oh yes, as was the style at the time.
Yeah, I always think of that with Charlie's Angels,
right?
Where there's just made no sense for them to be doing like Matrix, like
wire foo.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. We were really into that then.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think these two like each other very much, Brian.
Yeah.
Seems to me she doesn't like her future stepmom here.
Yeah, that's right. That's kind of strange, actually. Now that I think about it.
Yeah,
they're like the same age.
Yeah, this Pharaoh. I'm gonna say, I don't know what things were like in their time. I think he had it coming.
Right. But now, isn't this touched on in the first movie?
Yeah, it is. So we kind of do a little Back to the Future 2 action. And
they did. I literally had that thought. Yes. Yeah. It's like we go back into the first movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're adding on to it, right?
Exactly.
I mean, Rachel Weisz wasn't fighting with size.
Yeah. So like that definitely did not happen in the first one.
Yeah.
Like we see the scene where Imhotep and Anaxunamun, where they kill the pharaoh.
Yeah.
But we see it from her perspective. Yeah, right here.
Yes. Which, by the way, the what's her name? Anaxunamun.
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 God damn it!
I love this, by the way, though, where the pharaoh comes in and she totally does the like, like just standing with the statue, kind of. Oh, hey, was expecting you. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yep.
Just
yeah, totally.
It's hilarious. Wait, here it is. Just puts her arm on that statue.
And they would have got away with it, except that Imhotep got a little handsy with her with her arm tattoo.
Although I got to be honest, if I walked in on her like that, I'd be too distracted to be thinking about much else.
Well, not Pharaoh.
Yeah.
That's why he's the Pharaoh and you're not, Brian.
That's true.
Although, if you were the Pharaoh, you probably wouldn't be dead then.
Yeah, touche.
So there is that. Whoops.
So, yeah, how is Nefertiti's spirit? Like, has she always been inside Evie? Like, is it in her line or something? Or is in this movie, was that soul put into her or something? Or what's the...
Well, as I see it, Imhotep is doing his little ritual to put Anaxunamun's soul back in this new body.
Yes, is she in the line of this person because she looks exactly the same, or is it just...
you can't see me, but I'm doing the shrug emoji.
Okay.
That thing just now where she stabs herself and dies.
Yeah.
Is kind of hilarious.
Dude, I thought about how everybody gives Marion Cotillard crap about her death scene in Dark Knight Rises.
Yep.
And I was like, I think we have a new contender.
We may. So anyway, I see it as they're doing the ritual. And so because Rachel Weisz is also Nefertiti, which was changed from Nefertiti, by the way, which is hilarious because they were like, people are going to laugh because of Titi. Haha.
Titty, yeah, or whatever. Yeah, that is.
Which on the one hand, you're like, God, that's stupid. But on the other hand, you're like, yeah, you know what? Maybe that was probably the right instinct.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Just people being people. But so as a result of the ritual, they're sort of re-experiencing it. So I like Evie sort of gets caught up in it because
I see
that this is me. I'm just like,
yeah. I'm
just brainstorming here. You know,
yeah.
Hopefully Stephen Sommers is out there somewhere giving me a Miyagi look because I don't know.
It's so funny our different takes on that because I'm just like hug is like what I picture his thing, but I Miyagi look. I like giving him a more stoic take. Yeah. That's funny. Camels, watch out! They spit.
They do. It is true.
Do you remember that? Aladdin?
Yeah.
Have we ever done Aladdin?
We have not done Aladdin. Amazingly
Aladdin.
enough. Yeah.
Do we didn't get here yet, right? But I do love the whole conceit where he's leaving these little clues.
Yeah, it's clever.
Yeah, little
smart kid.
sandcastles and stuff. It's a good idea.
I mean, I find all of the scenes with Mr. Echo and the kid very funny. And I know I keep calling him Mr. Echo. I know that's not his name.
Yeah, but no, of course.
His name is extraordinary, and I don't want to mispronounce it. So instead, I will speak of his beloved character from Lost.
Yeah.
Beloved? ? Character from Lost.
I think so, right? That's my memory.
Was Mr. Echo beloved? I don't know.
I thought so.
He was one of the tailies, right?
Oh, man.
He was. Did people like the tailies?
It's just like all a blur in my head now, but man, was I into that show.
Oh, yeah.
When it was on. I'd like to rewatch it sometime.
I owe my master's thesis to Lost.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Dude, you know what'd be hilarious? I would have loved, because he looks at the hourglass in the sand, and I'm just loving how not precise that would actually be. I think it would be funny if Imhotep, he's the one who did it, right? He started it. He had the mask on. So it'd be funny if he's like, now we must go. And then he knocks it over. And he's like, whoop, 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 whoop. Then like has to put it back up. You know what I mean? So it's like,
to be fair, I think when I don't think he's like from now, like when he flips it over, he's using it as a metaphor.
I know, but that's just, I don't know.
Because it's 7 days from when he put the thing on.
Yeah. So just so the kid understands the passage of time.
That's right. Because kids don't.
Yeah. You know, the kid's fine. The kid's fine. Something occurred to me watching him with Mr. Echo. I'm going to join you. I think he's a little cocky for me.
Sure.
And I think Short Round is confident, but he also experiences doubt and fear and all sorts of things that a person might. And I think if this kid did have maybe a few more moments of, where are you, Mom? You know, or something like it might endear me to him a little bit more, but he's just always very cocky and I don't know.
I think you just don't like kids. Honestly,
not my tempo.
That's
That's funny.
See, he keeps spotting the Falcon.
Yeah.
And he's like,
"You're right. That would have been a good moment." Them, because they shoot it later, right?
Yeah.
And
he's like, Horace. It'd be funny if they serve them chicken. And he's like, Horace.
You're right.
I think just because we just saw that recently in that Zorro movie.
That I feel like I watched something else recently where they did that and they fed someone a bird.
Is that like a recurring? Is that a trope that I wasn't even aware of?
Oh man, what was I'm not going to remember what it was, but
so you have not seen the third one?
No.
So in
see that water, by the way,
years almost you never felt that urge to see the Rachel Weisz-less mummy movie,
right? And it's not like the character is gone, right? They just recast that character.
Yeah, with somebody who, no disrespect to Maria Bello, who I think is a good actress, but God, could you have found somebody who looks less like Rachel Weisz?
Yeah, like don't even feel like they're related.
Yeah. So weird. Yeah, I've seen that movie just the one time. That was directed by Rob Cohen.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I got to admit, as I was watching this, I thought, oh, there's like another adventure with most of these characters. Like that seems like something I could see one night being in the movie for. But I just haven't seen it.
I mean I've seen it one time.
Mm-hmm.
Back around when it came out, and I didn't see it in the theater. I saw it on cable. But that's like Brendan Fraser is doing a lot of the lifting for that one.
Sure. Because I mean, what's different about it, or what doesn't work as well? I mean, what? Because it also didn't perform very well.
Yeah. Well, what's different is just about everything, right? I mean, Evie is different for one.
Yeah.
It's no Imhotep, so it's the Terracotta Warriors, and it's the Dragon Emperor.
Okay.
Rob Cohen is not a great director, I would say.
Did he do the first Fast and Furious?
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a few weeks after this came out.
Wow.
It's just everything. Yeah, I suspect we will be watching it for whenever the fourth one of these comes out.
It's the path we've chosen.
It is the path we're on. So I'll almost withhold my thoughts until it's fresher. But I remember it not blowing me away. It's
Sure.
weird because Jet Li is the heel.
Okay.
Michelle Yeoh is in it. I mean, it's got a good cast.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of, at some point, I know there is one scene where the characters crash in the Himalayas and they face off with Yetis.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, don't do that. Right? That's my no.
Yeah.
Because it's just one bridge too far.
See, then I would love it if they were saved by a snowman and they're like, what do we call you? And he's like, Frosty. Like, why not just go full myth?
That's the only thing missing.
Yeah.
At one point, they're throwing something, and you've got Yetis doing like field goal signals.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're doing.
That's that. Yeah. So,
actually, I want to revise what I did. So the snowman, he doesn't have a name because he's been separated from his people. He's never really interacted with someone, and he's just like, I don't have a name. And then they shake hands. He goes, ooh, that's a little frosty. Brendan Fraser. And then someone goes, say that again. That's what we do.
Credits.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me do that.
You know what? It wouldn't have been a commentary without it. I look at Arnold Vosloo like performing the like swallowing the ship or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did he feel weird doing all that? Yeah, right. This is weird. That said, I like this piece right here. He walks by the kid and he like tussles his hair.
Yes,
right
yes.
And there you go. There's a nice moment for you. The one you were wanting.
There you go. Finally, he's been humbled now that his parents are dead.
Exactly. I like that whole bit where he seems genuinely scared, and the mummy's such a piece of shit asshole that he just tussles his hair.
Yeah, I just killed your parents, Pat.
Okay, now look at the state of this airship.
I didn't even think about it.
There is no universe where he's able to pull a last minute save.
That is hilarious. I can't believe I didn't. I do remember getting up to make popcorn at one point. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was this point. That is really funny. They should have put more, like, I don't know, tourniquet sort of whatever you want. I don't know what you put on a ship that's busted, but like made it look way more cobbled back together at the end.
Yeah. Because literally you have O'Connell like, well, Izzy, if anybody can find hot air, it's you. Right? And I'm like, okay, haha, but no, seriously.
And doesn't he say something about it's gas?
Yeah.
Like, it's not hot air, it's gas.
We're gonna fill it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, there goes Horace. Poor little bird. He's trying to help.
Yeah.
He was just helping him. He was helping our death. But look at the poor. He's so sad. Those bastards, they killed his bird.
I wish it had landed right in front of him. And it was like, and it just said like in subtitles, I don't think I'm going to make it. And he's just like, don't talk that way.
Rest now.
Yeah. And then it dies with its eyes open and he has to close his little bird eyelids. Just do it.
We missed out.
Oh, by the way, there's a wipe there. Sort of reminds me of Star Wars because most movies don't do that a lot. I saw a movie recently that I'm forgetting what it was, which is the trend in this commentary. And they did wipes. And I was like, I love it when I see them because I'm like, let's try that. Maybe we can bring that back. But I don't know that I would risk it if I was making a movie.
Oh, you wouldn't put a star wipe?
A star wipe. You know what I mean? Like, wipe left to right or something. Like,
yeah.
If you're making an adventure or a fantasy or something, there's something kind of fun and playful about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That is true. We don't see them as much.
Yeah.
So these pygmy mummies. What do you think of them?
Yeah. What do I think of them?
Yeah.
I think you could lift them out of the movie and you wouldn't miss it.
That my thought was it's weird because I start thinking like in terms of like just like there's like mummy cultures everywhere and they're all coming back to life everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, but then it's clearly there's at least some like velociraptors in
the
Lost World.
100%.
That's what came to my mind.
Now that you think about it, and I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but like you got those sort of T2 moments earlier. I thought of that too, because you got the people walking through that tall grass, basically being sucked down, sort of like the people in Lost World. A lot of like feeling the influences, maybe.
Well, I mean this movie is such a pastiche, right?
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it seems like Sommers is that type of filmmaker who wears those influences on his sleeve.
Yeah. And by the way, most artists do. You know what I mean? So that's
sure.
And if you can take something that you've seen before and run with it and make it your own, I mean, hey, that's what good artists do. So it's not an accusation is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no. I mean, look, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg wore their inspirations on their sleeve. So, I mean, that's
exactly. And we talk about that a lot, but their inspirations didn't live on as long as their work has.
Right.
So when people riff on Spielberg and Lucas, immediately you go, oh, I know what that is because we're still watching that stuff and they're still making sequels to that stuff. But the things that Lucas and Spielberg watched, we don't generally tend to see as much.
Right.
So it's almost like they have reclaimed those things and made them, they get associated with those tropes.
Exactly. Well, just a few weeks after this, we had The Fast and the Furious, which is a pretty transparent ripoff of Point Break.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But I suspect less people remember Point Break than are fully enveloped in the Fast and Furious franchise.
And there was a year where I was watching all the Simpsons or listening to all the Simpsons commentaries for every episode for like the first 10 seasons.
Oh, fun.
And I love they're amazing. And it was amazing to learn how many jokes they're like, oh, we got that from when I was a kid, I watched this show and the guy used to say that. Right. And I'm like, oh, you didn't make that up? Like it was illuminating and also like kind of, it gave me like relief to know that these people aren't supernatural comedic geniuses. You know what I mean? They're just learned how to take things that they remembered or were inspired by and put them into the Simpsons universe in a unique sort of way. And so it made it seem like, oh, it's possible to be that funny. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I found it to be a cool thing instead of like a disappointment to learn that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, it's all part of a lineage.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense.
But I also feel like with these Pygmy characters, the technology isn't there.
Right.
So that doesn't help on top of everything else. You just got these little cartoon characters just kind of like the critters. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like from the movie
right.
Critters in the 80s,
Critters.
like just kind of running around, just cackling at camera.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind moving along.
It's weird because the movie's over 2 hours. I think there's one sequence we could have done without.
Yeah. Although I do like the way this looks. Like I like seeing them out there and all this real,
So as I was watching this, I was like, is this a soundstage or is this location?
It could be either, frankly.
Yeah.
But I do like that I can tell that they're wandering through real stuff.
Right.
And just seeing the light, like real light dancing off of all these leaves just feels good. Oh, I was reading something too about how difficult it was with the torches because they only burned for about 3 minutes at a time.
Oh, interesting.
And sometimes I think about that in movies. You watch, Indiana Jones take a bone,
right?
And then wrap like something around it, and then he's got like this torch that's just like burning,
just incandescent forever.
Yeah, and it's just funny to think in real life, like half the things we would love to try just wouldn't ever work.
Well, if there's one thing that horror movies have taught me is never go like close to stuff.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
What's that weird looking thing? Let me get closer. No, there's your first mistake.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let me get further away.
Yeah.
let me pull out my iPhone camera and do like the zoom in. That's how I'm gonna see what it looks like.
That is hilarious. I'm like of two minds actually now. I do think the sequence is fun. I guess I just don't care for those creatures very much. And then when they come back later, it's just like an extra thing that maybe we didn't need. But this is fun. See, and seeing all those darts hit their chests and they fall over.
That stuff is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even make the critters connection. That's good.
That's kind of what they look like, right? I mean, they're like faster gremlins or something.
Yeah. And they have that kind of comical gremlins energy.
Yeah, yeah. I do like that when they see Emotep and they're like, ooh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Backing away.
You don't mess with Emotep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very, very Lost World.
Mm-hmm.
This where they're getting pulled into the grass.
Yeah, that was so like Jurassic Park, right? Like drag a guy off screen and then just see a bunch of bushes swaying.
Yep.
So you like know what's happening behind the bush.
See, they give Jonathan a little hero moment here.
Yes.
Where he's not a stumbling doofus when it comes to firing.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that. That almost feels like a John Hannah note.
Yeah. Give me some heroic moment.
Give me something,
Yeah.
So this coming up, So the way the movie is situating it, it's like Ardeth Bay and Loch Na, they have like this ages old rivalry, which like, I mean, I guess
sure,
right? Because when Ardeth Bay kills him, it's supposed to be. It's like he has this look on his face, like, me,
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what do you want us to feel? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if he was, and just through some expo, like, we were like brothers. He was a Magi.
Yeah.
And he turned his back on the order, like something like that, right?
I would lose this sequence happily to gain that moment.
It's so odd. Like, make this moment mean something.
Yeah. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm saying this moment and that's where the moment happens. But like that thing between them, I would give up any, special effects thing for 3 minutes to make this mean more.
That's exactly it. Because the look on his face, right? Look, it's like supposed to be a thing.
Yeah. And maybe it was. Maybe they deleted the scene.
Right there. Look at the look on his face.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's odd. Anyway, those are like little things, right? Because it would have been very easy to just have a line of dialogue here or there to add some weight to that.
Completely agree. Actually, it'd be kind of funny if they like made up in that moment. And then Jonathan shoots him. He's like, I got him.
They like shake hands and he's smiling, and then his head explodes like a balloon.
Yeah, all over him.
We missed out. Yeah, that what we just saw there, where the little pygmy guy comes right at the camera, that was in the trailer for sure. I remember that.
Sure. And it was probably a new sort of thing that we hadn't seen a lot at this point.
I think the pygmy guy was also listed by name in the trailer. And John Hannah and Little Pygmy Man and The Rock as the Scorpion King.
That's right. Well, we've hadn't really talked about The Rock much. I think he is done, right? I mean, the rest of it is just
he was in like 3 minutes of just sort of doing the rock bottom and walking around in the desert.
Yeah, but this was his first movie, right? I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He did his whatever, like 2 days. That's what Stephen Sommers said. It was like 2 days because it was like in between wrestling bouts. So he just showed up in Marrakesh or wherever they were shooting, and then Haku Machente, and then off they sent him. And those rushes were enough for Universal to be like, hey, give this man his own movie.
Yeah, it's funny because I did not follow wrestling very much,
Yeah.
but I know that I knew who he was because he
Yeah.
was that big, popular of a figure,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah, I feel like he gained a new round of credibility when he hosted SNL because he, showed a lot of range.
mm-hmm.
This is a funny moment right here when O'Connell throws
I do like this, yeah.
the dynamite stick. I like that. I like the profile shot we get. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
Just all of them little guys just running across the log as it explodes. Very funny. So anyway, that was like 2000, I think, when The Rock hosted SNL.
Okay.
He gets this job again. They look at his rushes. They're like, give that man a spinoff. And literally within a year of this movie coming out, because April of 2002, The Scorpion King came out.
Wow.
And the rest was history.
Wow.
April 2002, right? And then the rundown was 2003. I mean, he came out the gate hot.
Yeah, and I remember the rundown because I remember Sean really liked that movie a lot.
Yeah.
And so I think I watched it with him, and it was sort of like him doing like a real, acting role where it wasn't sort of like a novelty having this wrestler show up as a villain for half the movie or something. And then
real quick.
No, please.
This bit where O'Connell is out racing the sun.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous, obviously.
Can you imagine if the sun did move that fast?
Right. Like it defies physics. But I love this moment right here where he's like, it's not easy being a dad. And his son's like, yeah, but you do it really good.
Yeah.
And it's just a nice moment. I don't know. Like, I like that you have a father and son. They're not at odds with each other.
Yeah, sure.
The son loves his dad. It's just a nice moment. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll also say this piece coming up where Evie gets stabbed.
Yes.
And it's like, you're like, okay, well, obviously she's not really dead. Like even when I watched this, I was like, well, this isn't that kind of, it ain't that kind of movie, kid,
right.
That's Mark Hamill, his imitation of Harrison Ford,
right.
About Star Wars. But tell me if I'm wrong. Great performance by both of them.
Yeah.
When it looks like she's dying. Brendan Fraser is awesome here.
I love him tearing out of that, place after her.
That, and then just his despair when it looks like she's dying. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I love the idea that this guy, this macho guy, and it's just, he's just, his heart is tied up in how much he loves his wife. I don't know. I think it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
I think it's a great performance by Brendan Fraser right here. I think both of them. I think this just.
Yeah. I do remember this standing out to me last night because, this movie it's fun, it's a romp, and this felt so sincere.
Right.
Yeah. It really does.
Yeah. And again, like it's almost like it's so sincere. You don't want them to undo it,
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? But it's like, again, that's the movie. Well, it's not going to end that way. But I think it's a great performance regardless.
And it goes a long way in making us understand how much they love each other.
I totally agree with that. But yeah, sorry, we were talking about The Rock.
No. It's just, well, and then I thought it was interesting because he did the rundown thing, and there's that scene where Schwarzenegger's in there, right?
Yeah,
and basically like hands off the action hero mantle to him, says something like "Have fun" or something. But then I remember he did Southland Tales not long after that.
That's right.
And I remember
Be
thinking,
Cool,
like,
he was in.
Be Cool, he right out of the gate didn't put himself in one lane.
Yeah,
I think that was what he suffered from a little bit after that, where he was just kept playing the same character over
same
and over.
Guy. Yeah,
but right out of the gate, it's kind of bold and fascinating that he experimented a lot, and maybe even in movies that you would think the audience who would follow him,
right,
might not be their bag. So
well,
I love that he pushed himself a lot
in those early days. I saw the trailer for Coyote versus Acme. Which I don't know. Did you see that?
I did.
And you got John Cena playing a lawyer.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, that's novel,
Sure.
And partly it's because John Cena is sort of, I feel like Cena and maybe to a lesser extent Dave Bautista have like looked at the Dwayne Johnson arc and been like, okay, what can we learn from this?
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, at the beginning, Dwayne Johnson was willing to play silly characters or
Right.
nervous characters. And then it feels like for some reason later he got it in his head that he always had to win every fight. And
I think he just got invested in his brand, whatever that is,
yeah.
the perception, and the problem there is eventually it gets played out.
Yeah.
If people see you don't have any other notes to play, then they move on.
Right.
Like Schwarzenegger handing it off, which, this movie came out, what was it? September, October of 2003, the rundown, I mean. Schwarzenegger did Terminator 3 that earlier that year, right? And really that T3 is arguably like the final Schwarzenegger movie of his peak era.
Sure.
So the timing is entirely apropos. But
yeah.
Right. So it's like he does his final action movie, then becomes governor. He became governor in 2003, I'm pretty sure. Hands the ball to Dwayne Johnson. It took Dwayne Johnson a couple years to figure out what his movie star persona was, but he got locked into that.
Yeah.
And then he got stuck.
Yeah, then he got stuck. But what did he do? The thing this last year.
Oh,
gosh.
the machine, right? The what is it?
Smashing machine?
Smashing machine. God,
Yeah,
we are two old men. Can I just say that?
Dude, I was like, I can't believe I don't even remember the title.
Yeah.
I'm getting bad with titles.
Yeah,
but which is funny because that used to be our strength.
I know.
I know.
So it's really sad.
There's just too much stuff up there. Anyway. But he was very, very good in that. I mean, that movie didn't land or hit, I think, the way that they had hoped for him. Thought it'd be like an awards contender kind of thing. But he is really good in it. He's playing a character. Yeah. He's doing something different. And so it was nice to see him stretching again.
Well, and just as much as the film, his performance while promoting the movie with his glasses on his nose, his fingers steepled.
Yes. I know. For some reason that has just become like a thing in our minds. And I saw him, I think it was like Emily Blunt's Walk of Fame ceremony, and he had like the glasses on. I was like, oh, it's Glasses Rock. Glasses Rock.
See, this stupid idiot, he sticks his hand in the thing.
Dude, don't stick your hand in the thing.
Yeah, never. Like, it's like he's never seen a horror movie.
You know where I learned that? The Ewok Adventure.
Exactly. There you go.
The boy sticks the hand in the hole in the tree, and I never forgot it.
That's what we learned from Mace.
Yeah. Holy crap. Nice job.
Mace and Sindel.
Yes. Wow. Okay. You know what? Whatever titles you have forgotten, you're forgiven for remembering that.
I think I'm realizing there's like a cutoff date.
Oh, yeah.
Anything past like 10 years ago is going to be a push.
That's amazing.
So John Hannah, I don't know if you remember this, in the very first episode of The Last of Us television show, he's the like, it starts with like a TV broadcast from like the 70s, and he's the professor. He's like,
oh yeah,
the fungi can metamorphose or whatever. I don't remember what he says, but like that's him. I was like, hey, it's Jonathan.
I remember that moment, but I forgot that it was him.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's also in Sliding Doors. That's, I think, what most American audiences know him from.
Yeah, that's a movie where it's become, like a...
It's like people know the concept more than the movie.
Yeah, and that phrase, I mean, is that where it comes from? Literally that film when people say Sliding Doors?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's sort of like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
How like the movie changed what that phrase means.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you say it feels like Groundhog Day, you're not like, oh, it feels like winter and we don't know if we're going to have 6 more weeks.
Yeah.
It feels like we're just living the same day getting. That's a nice thing right here.
I love this.
That's great.
That's great. Very stylish. The flicker. I realize we're seeing all the stuff on the screen here, but we can call it.
Well, you got to subscribe on Patreon to watch this in sync.
Yeah, but basically Fraser's entering like a big, I don't know, throne room or something, and like it's a close up on his face, and the flames, they're flickering on him, and when it goes dark, you can't see anything. So his face is just sort of like light on his face. I'm not describing this well. It was really cool. You should watch it.
It looked neat. Yeah. There you go.
I can tell I'm like slowing down.
Well, two things. Number one, you have this speed ramping during this fight,
Yeah.
which looks cool, no doubt.
Yeah.
But also it feels like weirdly out of step with the style of the movie. Am I wrong?
Is that, yeah, there's like a weird stutter sort of thing moment. Yeah, I didn't understand. Because you would think if that was happening, we're supposed to understand something is happening in that moment.
Right.
But to your point, they don't do it anywhere else.
It's just Matrix inspired.
Yeah, that's a good. I clocked it, but I didn't understand why it was there.
Yeah. It's just a new
style.
technique.
What's the style at the time?
Exactly.
But there's a great, I imagine he's on wires, a great shot in slow-mo where he's like spinning in the air.
Yeah, yeah.
And you could see it's his face. And I was like, wow. Like this kind of stuff? Is that what you're saying?
No, well, they're even more. I mean, you see the speed ramping where it slows down and then speeds up.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it, and I mentioned I went and saw this with my friend Javier at the videography studio, and he's like, he used to edit like the highlight tapes. He's like, I'm going to try to do that speed up, slow down stuff into like wedding videos. And he did a good job with it. He figured that stuff. This is back when he would like be keyframing things, and it's a whole different thing, you know?
Yeah, that's funny.
See, these Anubis soldiers look kind of goofy. I don't know.
It's funny. Some shots I feel like they look better than others. Like they're actually, this looks a little goofy. Like when it was the wide shots, I was actually thinking, oh wow, that's kind of impressive. But I guess when you get close to them, and then when they start fighting them, and they don't,
I think that when it comes to use of CGI, right, it's like too often it's CGI allows us to create something that couldn't exist. And I think that's the mistake. Because if it couldn't exist, we recognize that. And
we won't accept
puts us at a distance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it should be done to allow you more flexibility, but it should still be something that could conceivably, believably be here.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You know, it's sort of like in Interstellar, you had TARS and the robots. And Christopher, like that could very easily have been CG, but Nolan was like, no, let's figure out a way to do it practically. And there's just like one level of disbelief that we're able to get right past.
Yeah. And for all we know, there could be a number of shots where maybe it is
exactly
CG, but because he's established so many that we've seen that we know really happened and McConaughey really touched it,
right? Then
we don't pay attention to that any longer.
That's the thing, right? So I think what I see here, like these things, these Anubis soldiers look very silly when contrasted with our armies of Magi.
Yeah,
it looks kind of goofy, like the way they just turn into a big thing of ash and then that ash disappears. I'm like, but doesn't happen that way.
Yeah,
and look at the speed ramping here.
I don't even know if I clock this that much. Yeah. I just remember a weird stuttering looking shot.
You'll see it in a second, I think. Come on.
I do like that moment when a hero and a villain are fighting and then like a bigger threat appears to both of them.
Right.
And they have this moment where it's like, well, they have to put pause on their conflict.
That's right.
That doesn't look terrible, that sand explosion stuff.
No. But I'm thinking of the shot near the end where the whole horde just kind of dissipates.
Oh, that shot I remember that shot specifically because it doesn't look like that black sand element is actually in the environment. It looks like it's on top of the frame.
Exactly.
Yeah, they weren't there yet.
So, and maybe it was just lack of time. I don't know.
Yeah. She gets to use her skill set that somehow she's been imbued with.
Yeah, her Nefertiri powers.
Yeah. See that? It's always like it's always a bigger fish. Yeah. Maybe we need to
see now again. Obviously, these effects are famously awful. Yeah. But you wonder what would have prevented them from just getting Dwayne Johnson's top half and then compositing that into an effect. Like, why would you think that you were able to pull this off?
See, this wide shot, then maybe you do the CGI guy.
Yeah.
But then, you get these close-ups of him or something. You try to like mix. I mean, that's why famously Jurassic Park holds up so well, because it's a combination, right?
Because he's got the dead eyes.
Yes.
The eyes are they're like a doll's eyes.
See here, use the rock here in this shot, right?
Right.
And you can add your CG extensions and things. But then when you do the wides and he's doing flips or crawling up a wall, then you do the fake guy.
I'm thinking of technology at the time, and I'm like, that would have been perfectly fine,
Yeah.
A cromulent, one might say. So it's weird. Like, were they just like getting cocky? Like, oh, we got this.
I don't know. Or maybe they didn't have access to the rock.
That's weird too, because it's like, well, Universal, you don't sign him to a contract that allows for, reshoots.
Yeah. Or maybe that's the thing. They're like, oh, no, we got this.
No, 3 days in and out. You're good.
Yeah.
Now, you have not seen Scorpion King?
No.
Okay.
You?
Yeah, I saw it opening night actually with Sean.
Oh.
At remember in Chicago that it was that theater. It's like Four Rivers or something like that.
I remember the name. I don't know if
it's near where a Zero Gravity used to be.
I remember Zero Gravity.
Yeah, our Chicagoland listeners are nodding their heads while everyone else is like, "The hell are these guys talking about?" Anyway, it's like kind of near there. So we went and saw it there.
Yeah,
and so 24 years ago is the last time I saw the Scorpion King.
Okay. Is it any good? I mean, even on like sort of like a B movie level.
It's like it's paced and produced like a Hercules Legendary Journeys episode,
Gotcha.
But Dwayne Johnson is more charming than Kevin Sorbo.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
This where that guy's like, help me, and Imhotep is such a rat bastard. He's like, why?
Yeah.
That's
you
cold.
know what's weird though? The way that he performs that.
Yeah.
He almost just seems like genuinely confounded why the person would ask him.
Yeah, I kind of liked that, to be honest.
Oh, that's kind of funny. I was gonna say it seems like he'd be a little more sinister or something.
No, he's like, psh, okay, why?
Yeah. Or it's not even that. Like he genuinely is just like, why?
Well, I kind of like I like that this freaking guy thinks he's on the same level as my man Imhotep.
Yeah.
And Imhotep don't share power with anybody, bro. Sorry, I
that's
don't know,
it,
Brian.
Sorry, I'm sorry to cut you off. That was that weird stutter thing, and I was like, why did they do that?
Oh, here?
Yeah, it just happened.
Yeah,
but it didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't
weird. In service of anything, like story or.
Well, I wonder if it was like a post production, like covering up a screw up type thing.
Like someone elbowed the keyboard for like a few frames and didn't realize it, and they're like, "Oh shoot, we already printed the film."
Something like that.
Oh well.
Now this here, this little comic strip that Rick O'Connell discovers with the. I'm like, I wanted to keep. I wanted like 4 more panels.
Yes.
Because it's like, and then they open the thing, and it goes like this, and then you throw the thing, and then it goes, and then it kills the scorpion. And I'm like, we need one more where the Scorpion King is on the ground, and there's like X's for his eyes, and like the Medjai guy is like jumping up and down in triumph.
Yeah, right.
We could keep going. We could get like several more frames of it.
That would be hilarious.
Because I'm like
them on the plane with his family flying home.
Over the gravesite of the Scorpion King with the scepter sticking. I mean, that's because I'm like, Rick O'Connell's not an idiot. Like, I think we could have gotten him there with like half the frames,
Totally. I think I read somewhere, even in the director's commentary, Stephen Sommers said that the stone carving directions of how to kill the Scorpion King with the scepter was ridiculous.
It feels like a studio note that went too far.
Although there's a moment where Evie says something like, "Yeah, you got to put the spear through the guy and it'll stop the army," and then like she explains everything. And honestly, I was like, "Yeah, no, thank you. I think I needed that."
We got it. We figured it out.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't know. She just woke up from being dead, so maybe she doesn't know what she doesn't know what Rick is caught up on.
No, I'm saying I'll put myself on blast here. I was like, yeah, thank you for the reminder. I don't remember what's at stake here. Like I just
we really do need this. This is anticipating the Netflix era of people being on their phone.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. Sometimes you don't need it, and it's insulting, and sometimes it's okay to have a little bit of a recap. I think.
That's really well. It's like the example you always use of in The Dark Knight Rises. You know, oh, the program with the thing that erases your identity. That thing.
Yeah, right. That's my favorite example of it.
Yeah, no, we got it.
Yeah. Ooh, good thing they had that pointed away from them.
It reminds me of, in that vein, you know, Mulaney has that thing about watching a special victims unit where Ice Cube's character, like some character is like a pedophile, and he's like, so you're telling me that this guy looks at pictures of kids and gets off?
Right.
And Mulaney's like, yeah, no, that's pedophile.
That's what it is. Yeah. we got it.
See this right here, the speed ramping.
Yeah.
Right, it slows down, and then we get like hyper speeded up. But they do that throughout the fight.
When I associate that stuff with like Zack Snyder.
Oh yeah,
I know, I'm sure it happened before then, but like when was 300?
Zack Snyder took it into overdrive.
Yeah, I would say for that effect or whatever, he kind of perfected it. Really,
Snyder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's total. This is Sparta.
Yeah.
Now here's my question: those like dudes that are like in the ground there, those are guys, right? Like they're like, I don't know what are they?
Souls in hell or something?
So I'm just like, what are they doing when the Scorpion King's not around? Like right now, they're like all riled up.
Yeah.
But otherwise, is it just like a really crowded night at the club?
Right. But you can never get the bartender's attention.
Exactly.
Hell. But see this, like that effect looks very much like just kind of slapped on top.
Yeah, because it has no bearing on them, you know?
Yeah.
Look at my man Ardeth Bay. He got this.
So this was 2001. They were able to do whatever they were able to do. But I was thinking this moment reminded me so much of the end of Crystal Skull.
Oh, yeah.
You know, where like the landscape is, well, I guess I'm getting ahead of myself, but like sort of swirling and, you know, coming apart.
Yeah.
And for as much as I complain about that movie, I mean, that effect looks incredible.
Oh, yeah. Well, that shot of like Indy in the corner of the frame as we see the whole, that's incredible, you know?
And you really, I mean, you know, it's not real because whatever, your brain, but like it looks really, really good. And him, just like, it's like the camera can barely keep Indy in frame as it's trying to capture the action. And that does such a great job of making you feel the scope, you know?
Yeah. We don't really get that sense here.
Yeah, this feels like an early attempt at that kind of thing.
There's just too much CGI flim flam.
Yeah.
You know? Now this piece here, I really like where Rick tells Evie, hey, get out of here. And she's like, no, I'm going to get you. Meanwhile, Imhotep is like, hey, come help me. And she's like, peace out.
I do love that where they just kind of look at him. Because I wonder, sometimes you have this instinct where it's like, well, even if you're the hero or, you know, that's the villain, you like kind of extend your hand.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, all the things he's done, like, why would you let him back out?
I agree.
This stuff looks great, though.
This all stuff I like. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's how much she loves Rick. She runs across a collapsing thing to get him. And look at my man Imhotep.
Oh, this is kind of strangely, I felt bad for him.
Right?
That the love of his life is he's like watching, like we get these shots of him observing this other loving couple helping each other.
I know.
And then he turns and looks at the love of his life. He's like, so
he's got tears in his eyes.
I know, it's kind of sad.
Horrible. He just wanted companionship while he condemned the earth to eternal servitude under his boot heel.
And murdered to be with her.
And weirdly, like when Anck-su-namun gets swallowed up by the scorpions, there's a little party that's like, yeah, good.
Yeah.
But not for all the other horrible shit, just because she abandoned Imhotep.
Yeah, right.
It's weird.
This did remind me, speaking of Crystal Skull, of that.
Oh, yeah.
With the ants.
Mm-hmm, yep.
I think this looks pretty good, though. For, you know, relatively.
For the era, yeah.
And in this film, compared to
I mean, we
shots.
forget that the third Mummy movie came out the same summer as Crystal Skull.
Yeah. Now that you say it, I remember that.
I remember seeing the trailer for it in front of Crystal Skull.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I obviously after that movie ended and we all had our process,
Yeah, our moment. Yeah.
I remember having that thought, like, does the third Mummy movie look better than the fourth Indiana Jones movie? And in fact, it didn't. So water found its level there too. But I remember having that thought.
Yeah.
See, this all, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and it just feels like just too much. I think the idea here is like, oh, it just goes back from whence it came.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
since the Oasis sprang up because of the Scorpion King's deal with Anubis. So, of course, now that the Scorpion King is dead, but like, I don't know if you followed, but Rick kills the Scorpion King.
Mhm.
And so because he kills the Scorpion King, the army is his to command. And he says, go back to hell and take your friends with you. And that's why the army all disappears.
Mhm.
But there's just so much going. It's like too much.
Yeah, I do remember thinking I need to look this stuff up because I was like confused why Emotep, when he was going to spear the guy, I was like, wait, so why is that bad? I assume that that gives him some power or something.
Whoever kills him commands his army.
Yeah.
Which, again, this goes to what I said before when we did our commentary for the first one, and we have the prologue showing what happens to Imhotep, and you've got, Ardeth Bay's narration, like, oh, but if he was ever brought back to life, then he would have power over all the elements, and he would, the invincibility and everything, like just this litany of horrible things, right?
Mm-hmm. He could do a mile in under 4 minutes.
Basically.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why don't you guys just kill him then? Like, why? Maybe don't mummify him alive.
I remember that. Yeah.
Right. And so kind of the same thing with the Scorpion King. Like the whole notion of like, why does he come back exactly? And what, and then the whole movie is like leading up to, when the Scorpion comes back, it's going to be all kinds of hell to pay. I don't know. He goes out pretty easy.
Yeah.
Like, granted, I wasn't getting tossed around by Imhotep in the lead up, but it seems like he goes down like a punk. That's me.
Yeah. That's me.
So again, how did he fill this thing up?
Yeah, it doesn't even look, well, yeah, filled it up. And then even just, how many nails did he have to put that boat
ship
back
looks
together?
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny. By the way, have we talked about the fact that there was an animated TV series based on this?
Yeah. We mentioned, at least in the first commentary, we mentioned it briefly.
Okay. Because I guess this, dirigible or whatever is something they use in it. And so that led me down the path of the animated series. And basically the characters don't look like the actors because they didn't want to pay for their likenesses. And
yeah, Rick O'Connell is blonde. Evelyn is a redhead.
Yeah.
Alex is American for some reason. And it basically does its own, like it creates a new backstory for Imhotep.
Yes, because no adultery.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, he tried to steal these scrolls and then, or whatever. And he was mummified. And John Schneider is the voice of Rick O'Connell.
Oh.
Yeah. Gray Delisle, who is Daphne, she's the current voice of Daphne.
Mm-hmm.
She's Evelyn.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know who voiced Imhotep. Imhotep speaks English. I know that.
Mm.
And it's just like, it lasted like 2 seasons, actually, which is more than I would have expected.
Yeah. Saw Tom Kenny was in it.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So here we go. Mummy Returns.
Yeah. Well, just last little bit of trivia I had jotted down. So when it came out on DVD and VHS.
Best-selling DVD of all time.
2 million copies sold in its first week.
And then like 2 weeks later, The Phantom Menace came out on DVD.
That's right.
and that took care of that.
But it sold 2.2 million copies in its first week. So not by a ton. I mean, they're almost like equal footing there.
That's incredible. Yeah, it outsold The Matrix. It outsold Gladiator.
Yeah.
Which is really nuts. I mean, that certainly tells you two things. First of all, how much primacy DVD had in people's lives.
Oh man, yeah.
Right? Like I don't think people in 2026 can fully understand that.
Yeah, how different it was before that
and after.
And after. Yeah, it was a moment.
It was a moment where everybody would buy movies.
Mm-hmm. And not just like cinephiles.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. if you were at Walmart, oh, here's DVD, let's get it. So, so you had the primacy of that format, but also, I mean, this movie was kind of a phenomenon. It was whatever gamble they thought the first one might have been. This one bore out, the confidence they had, which makes it even more baffling that they waited 7 years to do the next one.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? Like, you'd think they would have struck. I'm not saying you needed to crank out 3 more of these in that time, but at least 1, maybe 2 more.
Yeah.
I'm sure Brendan Fraser would have liked that, but I also suspect that part of the slowdown was because his career hit a bit of a rough patch. Doing stuff like Monkey Bone and whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot it. Wow, I've never seen that movie.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it either, but
I kind of want to.
Right.
Just to see what a weird curiosity it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also weird. No mid-credits scene, as we're conditioned to expect. After,
yeah, that's funny.
After the title sequence and before the scroll.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
There's no like Jonathan dusting off his jeans, being like, "Here it is," or like.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, here we go. So, Mummy Returns. What do you think, Brian?
I just didn't get endeared to these at the right moment.
Yeah.
So I almost feel more like an observer with these films. I like the first one. I think the first one is a lot of fun. Like we were saying, it's a little more tactile. It feels a little bit more grounded, as fantastical as it is. And this one feels a bit like it drowns in its spectacle a bit. So I think it's fun to watch for me, as an artifact from 2001. It's fun to see, the actors and the characters and stuff, but I just don't feel as much for it.
Yeah.
As I do. I don't enjoy it as much as the first one.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think of the Mummy trilogy up to this point as 1.5 good movies out of 3.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the third one, but I bet I agree.
Yeah, it's like I think there's enough in this that I like to give it like a half score, but I just think it's just too much of everything, and I think too much of everything becomes
numbing.
Exactly. It's just overwhelming, and it's I think going smaller is better.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the agenda. I think Stephen Sommers went into this being like just bigger, louder, and well, he certainly got that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I should say this song that's playing over these credits by Live. It's a pretty good song.
Oh,
Forever May Not Be Long Enough.
I think I turned it off at this point. Now I'm kind of curious. Live, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a nice song, but it is weird in this movie,
Yeah, right.
But I will say again, I think it has a terrific soundtrack. I listened to this album quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Silvestri. I love Silvestri.
Yeah, it's great. And unlike with Jerry Goldsmith, Stephen Sommers ended up really catching on with his relationship with Alan Silvestri, because Silvestri did he did Van Helsing and he did G.I. Joe, and say what you will about those movies, both have great scores.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. Hey, let us know your thoughts about The Mummy Returns, or let us know your thoughts about our thoughts. You can, I know these movies have lots of fans, so I'm certainly looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
Definitely.
You can email us at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com. You can also hit like on our Facebook page, facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast, and message us there. As always, please go to Apple Podcasts and leave a review, leave a star rating. Every little bit helps. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, please hit like, hit subscribe, and leave comments, because we do read those on the show. We also have a Patreon page, Brian.
Yes, if you head over to patreon.com/moviefilmpodcast and hit subscribe for only $5 a month, you find every commentary we've ever done and every episode moving forward absolutely ad-free. We also drop bonus conversations, as we mentioned earlier, that go over there about twice a month. Our free feed will always be available, but this is our way of providing what we believe is the most satisfying way to enjoy the show. So no ads or interruptions butting in. Like we said, you're trying to watch along. You don't want to get an ad for MailChimp or something interrupting the Mummy action. Plus, your subscription goes a long way in helping to support us and helping to sustain producing the show. So if you're interested and able, please head over to patreon.com/moviefilmpodcast and subscribe. We'd be very grateful.
And with that, on behalf of my partner Brian Hall, my name is Zaki Hassan. This has been our commentary track for The Mummy Returns. We'll catch you next time. Thanks, everybody.